of Season 11, Prosperity, which is going to launch on May 16th. We're going to have our open beta from May 12th to May 13th, and our closed beta from May 3rd to May 11th. Wait, what? What happens if I right click? I pulled a rune out? What happens if I left click? It's on my mouse? Wait, what if I shift right click? I pulled out 20. Wait, what if I control right click? I pulled out 5? Ooh? What if I control left click? 5 on my mouse? Wait, what if I shift left click? 20 on my mouse? So this is Scorn. It is a enchant Sork based Crystalline Globe. So for people that like leveling as an enchant Sork, it's a little melee orb. It's got... Alright chat, here's another little change. Changed it so that instead of 6 P skulls to reroll, it is now 3 P skulls to reroll. So, just a small little rare reroll change. Gone down from 6 to 3 P skulls. Alright chat, so I'm sure you guys are familiar with this base. This is Ursa's Nightmare. I got a little bit of some changes though that I think will make it a lot more appealing than it was previously. So it previously had you cannot lifesteal when above 60% life. It's now you cannot lifesteal when above 75% life. And it previously had plus 1% increased melee splash radius per 1% missing life up to 40%. It now has plus 2% increased melee splash per 1% missing up to 40%. Alright, here we go. Tyr and Dahl. Alright, this is a new leveling runeword as well, called Loyalty. It's pulled Tyr Dahl. It's got 2 to passive and magic skills, 60 FCR, some ED, damage to demons, crushing blow, 4 to 5 to fend, 2 to 3 decoy, and mana after each kill. So the difference between the bow version is that instead of fend, it has strafe, and instead of crushing 20% crushing blow, it has 20% pierce. So depending on if you make it in a bow or a spear, you'll either get 20% pierce or 20% crushing blow, and you'll either get strafe or you'll get fend. This is a new unique map based off of the Rathma Void Zones. We'll hit the Void Portal, and when you hit the Void Portal, what will happen is the first boss will be a random tier 1 boss, but we're going to add modifiers to make them stronger. So currently they don't have the additional modifiers, it's just a vanilla T1 boss, but it will be a completely random T1 boss in the first arena. And we're gonna, again, they're not juiced up yet, but I want to juice them up a bit more, so it'll be kind of a stronger version of a T1 boss. And they'll drop a random Uber material for a Pinnacle boss. In this case, I got Hellfire Ashes. So it'll be completely random. I got Hellfire Ashes from this one, though. And then you'll do the same thing, but this time it'll be a random tier 2 boss. So they're kind of like mini Ubers, yeah. So they're basically going to get buffed up to be like mini Ubers, right? Right? So this time I enter here, I got Khalim's Corrupted Body, right? It's going to be the Panda boss for T3? It could be. And then from this one, I got a Demonic Insignia, right? So far on this map, I've gotten a Hellfire Ash and a Demonic Insignia, right? Senpai's OP. Even like he said F, damn. So here's the 3rd tier. I hit a 3rd tier, and this one I got Overlord Erlen with a bunch of these bosses in an arena setting. You kind of have a little more wiggle room for a lot of them, right? So this one I got a PDE. For me, at least. Can you TP in there? Yeah, you can still TP if you want to leave. You're not completely locked. You can TP out. So bountiful weapons. In previous seasons, they have MF and enhanced damage. Kind of wanted to add like another +1 skill craft because obviously we only have the caster craft so far. So they now, instead of having 50 to 8 ED, they now have 1 to all skills. So if you want to make like a 1 all skills weapon craft, as an alternative to the previous caster craft, you can now do a 1 all skills MF craft. The new item is Fenris. It rolls -5 to -10 to enemy physical res. You may summon 2 additional spirit wolves, 2 to druid skills, -25 target defense, 2 to heart of wolverine, 2 to summon spirit wolf, defense, and dexterity. So we've made the jab and fend IS breakpoints much faster than they were previously. You can kind of see how fast I'm attacking here. This is fend with the over-the-shoulder stab. That's a huge buff. Yeah, it is a big buff. Big buff to the jab and fend zones.